everyone, today the Oscar nominations were announced, and looking over this list of stuff, there are a couple things I really do want to comment on that. I've been online all day long, reading a whole bunch of comments here and there and everywhere, various sites and everything, just getting a real feel for a lot of reactions for the things, and kind of latching on to some critical analyses and various things that are just kind of fleshing out my own opinions about some of these choices on these nominations list. And I really just felt very strongly about this. Like, I feel like I want to do a video for this, so here it is. I'm not a big Oscar guy. There's a few things. There have been some films that like this movie got fucked over. Like Michael Mann's The Inside got completely fucked over in 1999. Completely, I thought it was the best film of the year. You'll never be able to convince me that Michael Mann's The Inside was not the absolute best film that was released in 1999. Hands down, period. You should have won Russell Crowe, Best Actor. Best Director Michael Mann, Best Picture. You'll never convince me that wasn't the best film that was released that year. And I also think Heat got really fucking snubbed by not getting any fucking awards whatsoever in 1995. But this is going to be a bit of a quick and dirty video because I didn't get a hell of a lot of sleep last night, but I'm feeling better than I was earlier. But nominations really kind of start out. You got to start out with the Best Picture of the Year nomination. So I'm going to run them down real quick for you. You got American Hustle, Captain Phillips, Dallas Buyers Club, Gravity, Her, Nebraska, Philomena, 12 Years a Slave, and The Wolf of Wall Street, which, if you watch my best movies of 2013 video, you know I'm all about The Wolf of Wall Street. I thought the movie was drop dead fucking hilarious. I thought, congratulations to Leonardo DiCaprio on his Golden Globe win. I thought he absolutely fucking earned it because he was just explosive, incredible. He owned that fucking movie from the first minute to the last minute. The guy just owned the fucking movie, except when McConaughey was in the scene. McConaughey kind of stole those scenes too, but that movie's up in the stratosphere for me. I got the high hopes for that, but if it doesn't win, because a lot of years there's a lot of fucking poor choices. Sometimes the competition is not very stiff. It's not very. Sometimes it's very easy to call who's going to win. But this year, there's a lot of very strongly critically acclaimed stuff on here that's getting a lot of across the board very strong reviews. So this is a stiff year, it seems. But my criticism is just with American Hustle, because again, if you watch my best movies of 2013 video, I put that film very low on the list, below my top 10. It was number 11 on the list of my best movies of the year, because the performances were incredible. I thought the acting was great, but the movie lacks so much fucking focus. The movie is so out of control that, yet again, David O. Russell, he says, I hate plots, I'm all about the characters, that's it. And that's the problem with the movie, is that he just lets the actors go run wild with stuff. That he's very much about letting the actors go improvisation, just trying to find some weird new thing in the scene or with the character, just trying to act things out with any kind of real direction, which is the problem. If you're just going to sit back, lay back, and let the actors just go ahead and run wild and do whatever the fuck you want in a scene, there's no actual direction involved with the thing. It becomes very loose, it becomes very all over the place. I need to be looking over here instead of at my Return of the Jedi poster. But that's my criticism with American Hustle. It's getting a hell of a lot of nominations on this thing, and I don't think they're all as well deserved as they should be, because I mean, a lot of people are being overly charmed by this film for whatever reason. Yeah, what the film does great, it does great. The comedy is great, the drama is great, the acting is great, but the film is extremely loose with its story. The editing, I think the film could be tightened up a hell of a lot. You could probably chop 20 minutes out of this film and make it a lot more tighter, a lot more focused film. But again, David O. Russell is very much lax in that area. That I don't think that David O. Russell, I know it's probably controversial, probably light some fires. I don't think he should be up for Best Director of the Year because of those reasons. That if a director is going to take control of the film, they're the person that's at the helm of it. They're like the captain of the ship. They're the person in control, steering it in the correct direction. If the director is sitting back, laying back in the scene, just letting people run wild with the thing, he's not doing the job that he's supposed to be doing as a director. Because I've been a director since 2005, learning a lot of stuff. I'm not the best director in the world. Fuck no, not even fucking remotely. Especially when you got a guy like Scorsese on this fucking list. No goddamn way. I'm not going to get anywhere near that. But I have a lot of experience being a director. And it's like, you've got to take fucking control, because you can't just let I mean, yeah, you've got incredible actors on this list. In that fucking film, they know what they're fucking doing. You're not going to get shit performances from these people. They're going to do amazing, spectacular work. But where the structure and solidarity of the film is concerned, David O. Russell doesn't do his job by taking control of it and steering it in the right direction to give it a focus and direction that it's supposed to have. And that's my criticism with having American Hustle being so glorified in these award nominations, that I don't think they all are properly earned. I think people get a little too swept away with Oscar hype and Oscar buzz, that they just get a little bit too much enraptured with. They don't see the big picture. A lot of things. I'm going to address this a little bit about some of the stuff that I think should have been nominated in some of these categories that, well, I'll get to it right away, that basically, like, something like The Place Beyond the Pines or Prisoners are great, amazing, fantastic films. The direction, the cinematography, the acting, absolutely everything is incredible in those goddamn films, but they didn't come out at the right point in time in the year to grab the big Oscar hype buzz. Place Beyond the Pines came out in spring in very limited release, kind of started building up a little bit wider release as it went on, but that came out in the spring. Prisoners came out in early September. The Oscar hype buzz type stuff doesn't start kicking in the gear until somewhere in October. That's where you saw Captain Phillips come out or stuff like that, and then November and then December, where stuff just keeps building up momentum until the very end of the year. So films like that, which are incredible films, they deserve to be on this list. The directors of those films should be on the list for Best Director of the Year. They've directed some amazing, incredible films with Place Beyond the Pines and Prisoners. They should be on this goddamn list. Abso-fucking-lutely. Hugh Jackman should be on the list for Best Actors. But this is an amazing list of actors in that category, which is extremely stiff, but still, Hugh Jackman did one of the best, most emotionally powerful, visceral performances I've ever fucking seen. He should be given the recognition he deserves for the performance he put in that film. And I think Ryan Gosling absolutely should have been nominated for something for his performance in Place Beyond the Pines, because it is so very similar to what Hugh Jackman does. That it is emotionally powerful. It's gripping, riveting stuff. But because the film came out the wrong time of year, where all these films that come out the latter end of the year, these last few months, they're very fresh on the minds of the Academy voters, so they remember them much more strongly. They have much more. They see the film and then they're voting on the film within a few weeks, so they're very much caught up in the hype of that film. They're caught up in the wave. Like usually, you know, you see a film and then you're very much caught up. It's like, this film's great for the next couple of weeks, and then a couple weeks or a couple months go by, and then it's like something else grabs your attention and you're all hyped up about that film, talking about it and praising it up and down, left and right. But I saw American Hustle about a month ago, and I can't remember almost anything from this film. Nothing really hits me as a strong impact in that film. Prisoners and Place Beyond the Pines I've only seen once each, period. And those films still strike me so goddamn hard. Place Beyond the Pines I saw once, all the way back in like April or something. That film it hits you. It just strikes you so strongly. Prisoners is just so powerful in its emotion. It's just so primordial in that type of way, so primal in the emotions of the characters in that film. So great things. I'm glad Roger Deakins, this amazing cinematographer, got nominated for Best Cinematography for Prisoners, and I hope he fucking wins, because he shot Skyfall, which it was one of the best looking films of that year too. The guy is one of the best cinematographers working today. I'm very much all over this thing, but I'm just going to stream of consciousness here. But basically, stuff like Prisoners and Place Beyond the Pines are two of the most powerful films I saw last year. Two of the most powerful films I've seen in a long fucking time. They're so exquisitely, immaculately well made, and they don't get any kind of reward recognition aside from that one award, that cinematography award for Prisoners for Roger Deakins, which is immensely well deserved. But even then, something like Prisoners, I think it should also be nominated with Best Editing, because one, Roger Deakins shot a spectacularly looking film, but the editing of the film also allows each one of his beautifully composed shots to be fully absorbed into the audience. And that's also part of what Denis Villeneuve, the director of the film, also pushed forward. So there's a whole package of things that just work towards the ultimate goal of the whole film. So, but I'm going to move on from that. And the thing is that The main cast of American Hustle, shy of Jeremy Renner, have all been nominated in their respective categories. I think Amy Adams is the most deserving of being nominated. I love Christian Bale, Dark Knight Rises aside. I love Christian Bale. I think he's one of the best actors working today. He's one of the most immersive, complete, whatever it is. Great. If you love Christian Bale, I don't need to explain it to you. If you don't, that's your own preference. But again, it's like I saw American Hustle about a month ago, and just like I can't really remember any really kind of striking thing about any certain performance. I mean, I just take it for granted that yeah, Christian Bale was a great actor in that film. He did certain great things, but I'm hollow about the film. I just can't remember much of anything about American Hustle to be able to tell you that yeah, this, that, or everything is very much all that well deserved. But I'm going on a long time here, so I'm going to pick up the pace a bit here. But cinematography, I talked a little bit about directing. Yeah, Scorsese, I'm not gonna doubt that at all, and I've already talked about the other guys on that. The film editing. Let's move ahead. Original score. I haven't seen any of these I haven't seen any of these movies, so I can't judge how well their scores are. I've heard a couple of criticisms here and there about one or two films. Hans Zimmer's Man of Steel score is one of the best goddamn scores I've ever heard in my goddamn life. It should be on this list. Flat out, period, done. That is one of the best, most powerful, emotionally enrapturing, powerful, and inspirational scores I've ever heard. That score just elevates me to a whole another plane of existence. It's one of the most inspiring scores, powerful. Reiterating myself, it's one of the best scores I've ever fucking heard in my life. It should be on this nominations list, and it's not there at all. I'm jumping around on my list just trying to get to the right shit. Pretty much the big one. I just dropped my list, so this is the last one I'm talking about. Well, I need my list. The visual effects nominations is a fucking joke for 3/5 of it. Gravity, I haven't seen Gravity, but people have been praising those visual effects. I'm not going to talk ill about it. Hobbit, I'm not going to talk ill about it. They probably got amazing effects. My problems start from there on out. You got two sequels here. You got Iron Man 3 and Star Trek Into Darkness, which is weak fucking nominations, because my thing is, if you're going to nominate a sequel for visual effects that you already nominated the previous film for visual effects, the sequel should up the stakes, should up their game, should do something even more impressive, like The Empire Strikes Back did after Star Wars, that they pushed the envelope to the next level and improved upon what they did and did something even more impressive, more spectacular, something that just blew your mind all over again. The visual effects in Iron Man 3 are even though they're done by a different company, they're done by Weta Digital, all the previous Iron Man effects have been done by Industrial Light and Magic, they look like the exact same effects from Iron Man 2, and the Avengers, and they've been incredible effects since Iron Man. But none of those previous films have won the visual effects Oscar, so it seems like completely that. Same with Star Trek Into Darkness. Star Trek, the Abrams 2009 reboot, also got nominated for Best Visual Effects and didn't fucking win. And you're nominating two films for special achievement in visual effects that are actually showing you absolutely nothing new in the area of visual effects that you haven't seen before from the films that came before this, for a special achievement in Oscar. That's showing you actually nothing fucking new. It's not pushing the envelope, it's not pushing to another level, it's not showing you anything goddamn new. It's lazy. I think it's just lazy choices. And Lone Ranger I didn't see, but there's no fucking way you're telling me that the visual effects in Lone Ranger can surpass that of Pacific Rim or Man of Steel, or even something like Elysium, which people have a lot of mixed reactions to Elysium, but the visual effects I've heard are absolutely spectacular in that film. All three of those films deserve to be on this nominations list, and they're not fucking there. This category pisses me off. I'm a visual effects type of guy. I haven't watched... I grew up on fucking Star Wars, so you know I'm a visual effects lover and everything. I grew up on Star Wars, Terminator 2, all these great visual effects type of movies that just kept pushing the envelope further and further, that actually deserved those nominations and those award wins. Stuff like Jurassic Park as well. Just these films all won the visual effects Oscars. They all pushed the envelope further. They did groundbreaking, innovative work. None of these films are doing none of these three films are doing anything fucking new in the visual effects field to say. They're not showing you anything new that you haven't seen before from Iron Man 2, The Avengers, or the 2009 Star Trek film. They're all the exact same quality of effects, which are very good effects. They're worthwhile to be praised, but there's so many better films with better, more, just greater spectacle of effects. Pacific Rim, the visual effects in that film are so incredible. I think Pacific Rim really should be that close. Like I said, I haven't seen Gravity. I don't intend to. It's not my type of film. A lot of people have been praising that thing up and down with the visual effects, so I'm not going to presume that Pacific Rim would be better effects than that film, but it should be neck and neck with it, at least, because Guillermo del Toro and his whole team went through such intensive research and study to learn the physics of these monsters, between the Jaegers and the Kaiju, learning exactly how the physics of these old constructions, these creations, would work in the environments that they're living in, that they're fighting in, and everything, in the water, and in the city streets. How the displacement of air would affect the buildings around it when it was walking down the street. They went through such intense research to figure out exactly how everything would work. And that's so fantastic. I love that about Guillermo del Toro, that he takes that much care in everything he does. That he has so much love for what he does, that he takes that much care to put it into the film and make it that much better. And just on the visual level, the effects in the Pacific Rim are absolutely fantastic, because you got Del Toro making such beautifully vibrant, colorful films that it just works so goddamn well. It looks fantastic. The size, the scope, the weight, everything about it just looks fantastic. And the Man of Steel visual effects, whether you thought the movie was complete shit or you thought it was the best movie of the year, regardless of that, the quality of the visual effects is tremendous. That there's such a great realistic texture to everything, and it just integrates so perfectly into the much more gritty visual style of the film, that just, it feels so organic to everything that's going on throughout the whole film. It just so goddamn good, in my opinion, that it's so great. And like I said, I haven't seen Elysium either, but see, people have been praising it up and down, and Neil Blomkamp really does a hell of a good job with those visual effects. From what I've seen, that they look very impressive, very much on the similar level of Man of Steel, that he has such a gritty texture to everything, and all those visual effects meld in so very perfectly with the surroundings, the realistic surroundings, everything, the tangible locations and everything that they use in the film, that this is such a lazy fucking list. Aside from Hobbit and Gravity, I think this is 3/5 of this list is lazy as fuck. I don't know what movies these people did not see, but it seems they didn't see Man of Steel, they didn't see Pacific Rim, they didn't see Elysium, or a couple other films possibly. I mean, Thor: The Dark World CGI, the green screen effects were not all that great. That's the only thing I would say is the detriment to the visual effects of that film, but other than that, they are spectacular, incredible, beautiful effects that, again, darker, a little bit grittier. They just work, they just integrate so well, they have so much weight and realism to them, that there's so many better choices than these kind of like placeholder lazy things. I'm not saying that the effects in Iron Man 3 or in Star Trek Into Darkness are poor effects. They are very good, solid, high-grade effects, but again, they just don't showcase anything different from the previous films in these franchises that have been nominated for these same awards and not won them in the past. So it just seems like lazy placeholder crap for, we have to put something in here, so then we're just going to shove this in here. And I know how the Academy voting works, that it's not just like we have there's like a couple people to just say, okay, these are the films that we're nominating, you're just going to have to go vote for them. And all the Academy members, they all vote on everything. There's 10 tons of people in this Academy that vote on this stuff, and whatever gets the most votes wins. But it's just like, obviously these people who are voting have not seen all of the best visual effects films of the year, and that just fucking pisses me off that they just go for so much lazy shit in this, that you've had so many great, groundbreaking visual effects films nominated in the past, and you get something like this that just completely has been burning me all fucking day long, and I just had to release that out there. So there might be a little about that much left in the tank to spew out, but you've been sitting here long enough, so I'll let you go. But that's basically my reaction to the Oscar nominations list. That there's some things I felt I really don't like how that if your film isn't really released in October, November, December, it's really not going to be recognized as one of the best films of the year by the Academy, and that's a very bad shame, because you have incredible films like Place Beyond the Pines, like Prisoners, and probably even more films like that really deserve that kind of recognition along the same lines, but they just were released at the wrong time of year, where they didn't get swept up in Oscar hype buzz and everything. So that's all I got to say. You've been sitting here long enough watching me blah 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 blah. So there'll be the Jack Ryan's Shadow Recruit review coming up soon. I'm probably not going to go see it tonight, because I just needed, like I said, didn't get much sleep. I don't think I want to sit in a theater from 9:30 to 11:30 at night, since I've been up since 7:30. So I will get a review for you on that in due time. So I'll catch you later. Thanks for watching, and again, post your comments below about your reaction to this year's Oscar nominations. What do you think? Do you think something got terribly snubbed somewhere? Are you pissed off about something, or are you very content about what happened? So throw up some comments and all that kind of stuff, and I'll see you in due time. Bye.